Today, the most experienced tradesmen in the world, the ones who've been operating in HVAC for the past 40 years, they're the ones retiring and walking out the door for the last time. It's an amazing opportunity. The folks who've run HVAC technician careers for the last 40 years, the ones who could walk into a room, listen to the system, and in 10 seconds tell you exactly what's wrong before even touching a machine, they're the ones who are aging out of this profession. But that's an opportunity because with every retirement comes a new wave of tradesmen. Let me explain. The opportunity is that this right now is one of those rare windows where you could still learn a trade the right way, properly, by the people who've mastered it while they're still around and willing to hand it down to the next generation of tradesmen. Windows like this, they don't stay open forever. And when they close, they're closed. So rather than learn about this 5 years too late, I'm going to walk you through what it's like to actually become an HVAC technician. So first, let me tell you who I am and why you've been listening to me. This may sound strange coming from a guy who's about to walk you through a school program, but I'm Darius. I run Career Bond. It's one of the largest career acceleration platforms in the country. I've spent years watching people stand exactly where you're standing right now, trying to decide if they should make a move. Thousands of them. And I've watched what separates the ones who change their whole life from the ones who are in the same spot 3 years later. Here's the part that's real. I don't care if you pick HVAC or not, right? Doesn't matter to me. I'm me, you're you. But if you want to find a skilled trade, one that could change the trajectory of your life for the next 30, 40, 50 years, HVAC is something you should probably consider. So let's get real about what that education actually requires and how it pays you back in terms of career opportunities. I'm gonna do this in a series. This is part 1 of 4. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take you through a HVAC program and show you exactly what's in it at every piece from start to finish. I don't think enough people are doing this. So this way, if you do decide to learn HVAC, you will know exactly what to expect from your on-site education. And the whole frame of it is this. If you choose to walk through this door, here's what you'll actually become, right? Not what you'll study, not what you'll do, right? You could read a brochure for that. But here's what you will become. This is how it will change your life. Part 1 of this foundation is the first 4 disciplines that they will build into any training program before you even go into the tools and the terminology. So if you're ready, let's get started. So the very first thing they hand you in HVAC school isn't a wrench. It's the ability to look at a system, any system on earth, and understand why it's doing what it's doing. This is where the experts, the ones who are retiring, they just walk in and they listen because of their familiarity, right? So what you're gonna learn is that's what the heat, the energy, and the pressure, the discipline actually gives you. I know principles of heat and pressure sound like the most boring 4 weeks of your life, but it's super important. Here's what it really is. It represents the moment you stop being a person who's mystified at how their own air conditioner works and becomes the person who understands it, understands why it gets cold, understands why it's not getting cold. Because every system in this entire trade is just heat going where you tell it to go, or cold air going where you tell it to go. Master that one idea, and the whole trade cracks open for you. It's like the Matrix. So in a good school curriculum, they won't just lecture you about this. They'll put the tools in your hands and stand you in front of a simulated service call. You'll measure real pressure. You'll calculate it. You'll troubleshoot a live system. Safety will be paramount. They will teach you safety precautions from minute 1. 4 weeks of this. This will be the first module of HVAC training. And you'll walk out with something most people never had. You'll understand the invisible thing that's happening inside every machine that heats or cools a room. That's not a fact you memorize. That's a new way of seeing, of understanding technology. So let's go on, module 2. The next one is where people decide silently, like in their head, that they're going to be the one who fails or succeeds, right? Which one are you? Most people do this the wrong way, so don't be most people. Number 2 is the electrical discipline. And perhaps when you hear the word electrical, that's scary because it's a foreign concept. I'm HVAC, I'm not electrical, but you know what? You need to learn both. So hear me on this. The fear that electrical is over your head, HVAC is hands-on, but electrical is circuits. You'll get past that, super simple, right? The entire block of training around this module of HVAC technician is the assumption that you walk in knowing nothing. So Ohm's law, circuits, schematics, how a motor actually fires up from zero, they take you there on purpose. But here's what you really walk out with, and it's bigger than electrical theory. The thing they drill hardest is safety, lockout, tagout procedures, right? These are the reasons a technician goes home with all 10 fingers. In a proper curriculum, you won't just memorize it, you will understand it. Understanding is learning, memorization fails at one point, right? You'll demonstrate it, hands-on, live components, until your body does it without thinking. That's called muscle memory. So picture the before and after. You walk into HVAC training, you're flinching at the word electrical, right? It's foreign to you. 4 weeks later, it's a 4-week module. You're the person calmly working a live system, safe, sure of yourself, because of that understanding, because of that muscle memory. That's not a small upgrade. That's becoming a different kind of person, the kind of person that other people trust around complicated machines. That's why you get paid the big bucks. So if you're still watching this, let me congratulate you. You watched it this far, which tells me you're not just curious about possibly becoming HVAC tech, you're actually wearing this. So I like that. I reward that. Most people will listen for a few minutes and then drop off. But if you're hearing this part right now, thank you for staying along. I promise you it's going to get so much better because you're going to know what to expect going into HVAC training on day one. This is how you plan a career, right? You can't do it haphazardly. It's not like getting in a car and not knowing where you're driving. So here we go. Now, stay with me because the third module is the part you've been picturing this whole time. Next course that you'll learn in HVAC Technician School is the torch. The brazing discipline is the one that lives in your head when you imagine this trade. The sparks, the blue flame, the metal joined to metal. And here's what it actually turns you into. You start with the materials, the pipe, the tubing, the valves, the gauges. Then you learn the real craft. Welding, flame cutting, brazing, soldering. Not from a screen, you can't do this online, right? With a live torch in your hand, fitting real HVAC components, real pipes, holding line pressure steady, keeping every seal tight, what you do on the job on your own. At this point in your training, you'll walk out of the room having physically made something, right, with your own two hands. That's why skill trades are awesome. AI can't replace that. You'll have made something that wasn't there when you walked in. And I'll tell you what instructors watch every single term. The person who swore up and down that they'd be hopeless with their hands picks up the torch and kills it, right? You discover that you're actually good at this, really good at this, better than you ever figured, right? There's something about working with real fire and real metal that wakes a person up to what they're actually capable of, right? The realness of it, I guess the danger of working with fire if you're not careful, right? But it brings out your potential. So 4 weeks of this module, and the thing you keep isn't just a skill, it's the proof burned into your own memory that you could build things with your own hands.